only one more chance. So try, build that bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrows, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Let the sun on the way shine, shine. Let the sun of the way shine, 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 shine.
Never lose your faith in the brightness of your
It's always good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call. The time is right now. Here is the place. So let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. It's always good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call. The time is right now. Here is the place. So let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Listen to this call. The time is right now. Here is the place. So let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace.
Jesus Christ, let us preach the peace, let us preach the love. In this world already wonderful will be much more. Get up, look at the sky, in the earth where the flowers bloom with sunshine. Let's hold our hands and be together on this road. Then we take peace and love and spread it to the world. Good vibes, laughter and shout outs, show it to the world. Always follow the footsteps of our Lord. All roads that I shall walk on, sowing seeds of peace. This life that keep us shining will be brighter and brighter. Will be brighter and brighter. Will be brighter and brighter.
Sing this song along with me. Just open up your hearts. Feel harmony and peace inside yourself. Life is a great school, teaching always to do good. Learning that in order to be happy we need to help. Learning to accept that everyone deserves respect. Uniting all their hearts with a gesture of affection. Finding out where happiness will be spreading joy. There is no other way. Charity is the solution. Only one love, only one ideal. So love and peace in the world. Conquer us. Feel the life within ourselves, and love will certainly appear, and the world will be in peace. Sing this song along with me. Just open up your hearts. Feel harmony and peace inside yourself. Life is a great school, teaching always to do good. Learning that in order to be happy, we need to help. Learning to accept that everyone deserves respect. Uniting all their hearts with a gesture of affection. Finding our happiness will be spreading joy. There is no other way. Charity is the solution. Only one love, only one ideal. So in love and peace in the world. Conquer us. Feel the life within ourselves, and love will certainly appear, and the world will be in peace. Only one love, only love ideal. So in love and peace in the world. Conquer us. Feel the life within ourselves, and love will certainly appear, and the world will be in peace.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you today? Today is a very, very special day. It's the last transmission of the year, the last Tuesday of the 2024-25. So to begin with, I would like to welcome all of you that came and spend the time with us sharing those beautiful moments. As you know, we're going to share some announcements. For instance, our meeting, if it's possible, turn off the phone notification. That make it easy for you to pay attention, and try to find a quiet place if it's possible. So make it easier too. And our meeting has the format of 30 minutes presentation, and after we have Q&A, and in the end, we have the spiritual care. So, as you know, we're going to have the magnetized water. So, we'd like to ask you, if you are interested, bring a cup of water or a bottle of drinkable water. So, stay with us. In the end, we're going to ask the good spirit, the good vibration to magnetize the water for us. Just remember our meeting is transmitted every Tuesday by Spiritism Canada Facebook and YouTube, and also Spirit Concafras America Facebook. And on Saturday is retransmitted by Facebook and YouTube Kardec Radio. So whenever you feel like, you can watch all the meetings. So it's there for you. For those that like or would like to know about Spiritism, we have a regular course called Get to Know Spiritism. It's almost in the end of this cycle, this semester, but we soon are going to start again the new course, new new people, new team. So it's happen every Saturday, 5:15 ET time. So everybody is welcome. And you can ask, but I'm not a spiritist. Doesn't really matter. This course is just to prepare to understand what it means. Okay, everybody is welcome. This group offer, if you are interested, to start and maintain a regular gospel at home. So if you're interested, this is a time that we choose to bring Jesus Christ at home. So a group can help you to establish and do a time that you bring the gospel, that there is reflection, there's conversation. You can do by yourself, or you can do with your family, as you wish. So they're gonna post a link, so everybody is welcome. It's also, this group offer a vibration. Like when I said the spiritual care, we have a group in the end, in the backstage, that make the prayer for those that are in the book. Is a virtual book, but you can put your name or name of people that you know that need good vibrations. So this energy can go through everywhere to find the people that you put there. Is a very private book. Everybody is welcome to put there. And tonight we have a special time in your place in life, reflection for the new year, because every year at the end of the year we start looking for answer. Where is my place in this life? I'm in the right place where I am. So, and as I promised, I asked our sister Anna last week, and I'd like to bring her, and she's gonna talk again. And this beautiful time is your place in life. How are you, Anna?
I'm good, my friend. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm excited to hear. I think this is the way you said the last week.
Mhm.
The continuation, because we talk about the message is a Christmas message last week.
Right.
You mentioned this is all year round, not only one time in a year. Good. But my place in life is not only in the end of the year, too. So I'm very excited to hear from you tonight.
Right. So I'm here like I promised.
Thank you very, very much. So, as you know, you're going to be in stage now. We're going to have our initial prayer. So, please take care of this. I see you in the end. So, I have some questions. Okay.
All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
friend. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, a very peaceful and very nice Christmas. So let's pray so that we can start our reflection for the new year. So let's close our eyes and thank Jesus. And together, all the hearts here united, let's elevate our thoughts to God and thank Him for one more year, for all the opportunities that we had, for everything we experienced. Let's take a moment to see that there were happy moments for which we are thankful. There were difficult times that we are also thankful for. But let's focus on the fact that we survived those difficult times. So, in case we are still going through some challenges at this moment, let's have the faith and the hope that under the guardianship of Jesus, under the mentorship of the good spirits, along with our guardian angels, along with the friends and all the resources that God put at our disposal, that we can also overcome whatever is actually bothering us at this moment, whatever is taking our peace. And let's ask our Master Jesus that in the new year, may His light, His grace, and His peace, His love, may all of these things be with us in every single day of the new year. And so be it. All right, friends. So let's go here. All right, so we're going to talk about your place in life, and this will be a reflection for the new year. Um, and this is a message from this book that you have there. Also, the cover. It's a book that has been translated from Portuguese. Changing Attitudes is from the medium Francisco do Espírito Santo Neto and by the Spirit Ahmed. And last year, or at the end of 2024, we actually reflected on a message called The Advantages of Forgetting. So this time, we're going to reflect on this message, your place in life, right? So, as we do a little retrospective of the year, right? There's are some very common things that we do, like we retrospect. We kind of do a balance of what it was the year of our experience, and we make plans, right? It's supposed to be a new year, like a reset. We're starting over, the month number one, the day one of the month one of the year 2026. So, what do we want to do? We usually also do some resolutions, right? So, as I was reading this message, I just thought it was something interesting for us to reflect. And as we are in this process at this time together. Um, and in this book, each message, the Spirit Ahmed brings something from the Gospel according to Spiritism. Actually, this part is, and remember, the beginning of the Gospel according to Spiritism is usually also Kardec starts with a section of the Bible, right, of the Gospel. So this part is in Luke 14, 7 to 11, but is also in the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 7, item 5. So it actually talks about that parable that Jesus talked about the wedding feast, right? So at the time, right, in the culture that they were immersed when Jesus was talking about this parable, once you had a party and you invited people were seated at the table according to the importance of that person for the family, right? So this parable actually brings us to reflect where is our place in life, and also invites us to be humble, right? And remember, as we were talking last week in our message for Christmas, we really were talking about what is the message of Jesus, right? What is really the message of Christmas? What is what did Jesus came to show us and to teach us? And it is about humility. It is about loving. It's a totally, radical and new paradigm, right? Not just love the ones that are close to you, but love your enemies, right? So expanding our capacity to love, to forgive, to really evolve all these and develop all our virtues, right? And to become a better person. So, but in this message, I like, because the Spirit Ahmed, he really explains a little bit to us what it's really being humble means, right? So he calls us our attention, because that's sometimes, I don't know if it's with you, but I've seen in my development of my spirituality, that sometimes okay, I need to be humble, and sometimes we go too much into one side of things, and we have this tendency of exaggerating things when actually we should be looking for balance. And that's what we talked about last week too, when we said, it's normal to, have some time. And that's what Jesus did, right? That's how he modeled. He had time with the disciples that were very close to him and really loving to him. But then he also had time with the Pharisees. He had time with people that needed him. He had time for everything, right? So, um, this is gonna, sometimes if we go too much into one direction, that's not good. We should have a balance, right? So then we'll see it in this message. But it also, the Spirit Ahmed invites us to think, what is our place in life, right? And where are we getting these ideas about what our place is, and trying to redirect us and think that however we are thinking about ourselves, we should be thinking about ourselves as children of God, right? And we should remember the idea that Jesus taught us about God, that is loving, right? What is our purpose here? So we should frame this reflection about our place in life that sometimes is misguided from ideas from the outside, from things that people tell us, or even things that we tell ourselves, they are not really true, right? So now that I spoiled everything, we're gonna go step by step. But if you don't remember, the passage is that passage that Jesus says, that is better that once we are invited, we take the lowest place at the table, so that when the host comes, right, then they can say, oh, move up, no, come here, you need to sit here, at this place, closer maybe to the family, or something, like to a better place, right? Because then he says, then we'll be honored in the presence of everybody, instead of us trying to sit in a better place, and then somebody else comes that had that seat, and then we're asked to move, right? So again, two invitations there for us to remember that is important to be humble, but also what is really being humble, but this idea, what is our real place in life? So what I did with this message, I have pieces of the messages, and then I have questions that will lead us to the next section of the message. And because we're reflecting, so that we don't get lost, I also put a verse or a message from the Bible where God and Jesus are really telling us how we should be seeing ourselves, to help us in case we go into the negative, or too much to in a misguided localization, in case our GPS is kind of a little bit off. Then hopefully this Bible verse can bring us back to it can center ourselves, right? So let's see how that will go. So the message starts saying, always willing to show his sermons in a clear and understanding way, Jesus considered in a certain occasion how the guests of a party behave hastily, eager to take the best places at the table, disrespecting the basic principles of good manners and education. Right? So, as we think about our place in life, it will be also important as a spiritists to know that we are here in the world of trials and expiations. So, we have more of the bad than the good, but that we're at different stages of evolution, right? So, some people are, more evolved than others, right? So, of course, there will be, but the table is for everybody, right? There are different seats, but everybody can be at the table. So, whatever is our place in life, I think that will be nice to start. It's like, it doesn't matter where your place is right now, right? Because it can only get better from here, right? So, with our efforts and with our willingness and with the guide of Jesus' messages, with the mercy of God, there's only uh, option for us is to keep moving. So, whatever I am today, it might not be, it's not, I'm not a final product at all, but it's the best that I am at this moment, right? I've been worse. So there's something to celebrate, right? It's not to be stuck there. It's not the end of the process. It's not the end of the product, but it's also, could be much worse. And for sure, it probably really was very bad before. So thinking about that, I was thinking that it would be, so these are some of my reflections that I just invite you to reflect with me, if you would, you know. Um, what is your place in the table of life then, right? And as I was looking for some parts of the Bible that I thought it would match with this question, I really like this one that says, I am chosen, set apart for a purpose, right? So, whatever is your place in the table of life, remember you're special, right? You are loved. You are created by love and for love. So, I am chosen and I'm set apart for a purpose. So, everybody is special, right? In a good way. So the message continues saying, what is your place at the table? What it is your position in your own universe? This is the great motion established by Jesus on this parable, right? It's really asking, Jesus is asking us to, as he's talking about how people behave, I'm thinking that he's probably imagined, well, when Anna reads that message, that parable that I said, is she going to be thinking what is her place, right? Is she already, in a little bit more prominent, more noble, let's say, place, or she's still not more noble, right? I think in a very modern thing, I don't know how usually in your house it is, but like when I'm with my friends and everything, we usually have a table for the adults and a table for the kids, right? Because then the kids can be there and they eat sometimes different food, and so they'll be more comfortable there, and the adults over here. So are we, where do we sit? What is our place at the table? Are we sitting still at, thinking about us as spirits? Are we still sitting in the children's table, or do we have already a place at the adults table at least, right? So as we move through this message, one thing that is really critical to think is who decides which is your place, right? When we think, where's my place at the table? What do I consider for that? And I really hope what you're thinking is something like this, part in the Bible where it says that I am a child of God, an heir of his kingdom. So I really hope that you are thinking of yourself, that who decides, you're probably thinking God decides, because he calls me his child, right? I'm a child of God. So that is where I'm getting there to decide, where is my place. And the message continues saying, is the place you take really yours? Right? Or do external influences lead you to think of act in a different way? So that is so crucial, right? Because sometimes we do take places that are not ours. And that can be both ways, like a higher place or a lower place. Sometimes there is that say, fake it until you make it. And I think that that is important because we need to keep showing effort and trying and trying and trying, right? Because that's the process. But sometimes we are trying to fake for society that we are at this other place, and sometimes it's not even the noble place, but it's the place of the person who has more, instead of the place of the person who is more, right? Who is more charitable, not that has more money, right? But when we talk about external influences, is that what is actually leading us to decide or to assert or to make us choose whatever the chair in this table of life? Am I choosing it based on external influences that are not noble, that are not correct, that actually have all these spurious intentions because they just want to sell something? It's very materialistic, right? So this thing that we have to have this salary and have this much money and this many cars and this type of house, all of these things that we have to have, who is that helping? Is that really making us happier, or it's just a way so that some people can sell some stuff and then get more money and then we can be more miserable, right? Is that why we incarnate, to have things or to be a better person? So it's really important to think that. So as we are looking for our New Year's resolution, what are our resolutions for the new year, right? I really hope is not to work more to get more money to buy something, something, right? But to be more present with people, to do things that are more important to you, that make you happy and make others happy too. Remember, right? Taking care of ourselves and also taking care of others. Why not? So I hope that when you're thinking about, and like if you want to be healthier in the new year, I'm with you. I also want to be healthier in the new year. But if you just want to lose weight so that you can look better, because just for that, I mean, is that really the best reason, right? So I hope that as you are thinking about this, are you want to study, do a course so you can progress in your career, that is fine. But it's also, as long as you keep things balanced, because there has to be time for all the things that we need. If not, then we end up not evolving too much spiritually, and our body, our conscience starts to tell us too, and we end up sick, right? Because it's not bringing us happiness, no fulfillment, true fulfillment. So then it's kind of a little empty. So whatever we plan to do, and I think it's wonderful to have plans and to stick to them and to accomplish things. That's really what we need to do. But I hope you are thinking about yourself, and then also that you are thinking, as you're trying to think about your resolutions, you're thinking that the Lord is your shepherd and you lack nothing, right? So the message keeps going a little bit and says, have you listened to your soul's voice recently? Consider that God is inside you, or open up your ears to the opinions and concepts of others. Yes, right. So that is the thing. Sometimes it's so noisy. There's so much information outside, TV, cell phones, right? News, people at work, a lot of people interact with, right? Especially most of us, I think, live in urban places. Our thoughts, all these connections. Are we having time also to really silence all of that and listen to God's voice inside of us, in our own conscience? Or are we giving more weight to the opinions and the concepts of others than to actually God's voice inside of us that is actually telling us what is going to be, what is going to really make our soul happier, right? Because that voice is in there. If we really reflect and if we really silence everything else, we can listen to that voice, and it's going to tell us if we are in the correct place, if we're aiming to the correct place at the table. And it's going to be really the truth. It's going to be really the plan that's going to bring us happiness, not just what everybody else is talking, right? Of course, it's good to listen to everybody, right? And what we are talking about here is balance, right? We are not gonna also go into this thing that everybody's wrong and we are the only ones right, right? But we sometimes do not have time even for our own mental health and everything to shut everything else down, shut all the noise, and really seek inside of ourselves the answers that we need in life. So the reflection is like, the question is actually, when do you reflect on the year that is ending and you do the countdown for the new year? Which point of view are you consider? Uh, as you look at yourself, what you did, the good, the bad, and the ugly, are you using self love, God's love? Are you trying to look at all of that with God's eyes or with very fierce and unforgiving eyes? And that's what you're basing to make your plans for next year, right? So I hope that as you are reflecting on the year that is ending and you do the countdown for the new year, you can think of, Jeremiah 31:3 that says more or less that I am loved with an everlasting love, right? That's the love that God has for each and every one of us, right? So then you can be also kind and charitable and forgiving with yourself too, with others, right? We have been talking a lot about, towards the end of the year, we were in the chapters in the gospel about loving, our enemies, forgiving, all of that. So hopefully we'll take all of that we have been learning and reflecting on as we do this countdown. So this message gets to a point now where it says that there's nothing worse than feeling lost at school, at work, in social circles, or even among family members, letting relatives, friends, spouses, and fellows, friends, right, think for you, not allowing God to speak to you through your soul's inspiration ways, right? So it's important to listen to other people, but you need to see what do you feel that is God's voice inside of you. That is the most important voice, right? So as we think about what do we want to be different in the new year, right? What do we want to change, right? It's perfectly fine, and I think it's really very very mature to want to do, right, things different, especially if you tried a couple of times the same way and you see that it's not going anywhere. But what exactly do we want to be different, right, in the new year? And where we're going to find that answer based on what, right? And I hope as you reflect for that, you remember that God's plans for us are for good and not for evil. To give the plans God has for us is to give us future and hope, right? So remember, not to punish us, to give us hope, right? So the message says that that feeling of inadequacy is a product of your disbelief in your own potential. You feel unable, not because you are unable, but because you make yourself deaf to the choices and preferences of your own soul. So sometimes we already know that we already discover inside of ourselves there is this voice that already says, why are you going to spend 80 hours a week working, right? It's That's not going to fulfill your soul. You need time with others. Why are you going to be so detached from people or isolated? That doesn't bring a human being that is a social being much happiness, right? If we need to do that for a certain amount of time, this is okay, but to have that as a constant in our life, as a way of life, living in isolation, it doesn't bring happiness, right? And then living things that are not spiritual, just the materialistic life, that will bring this feeling of inadequacy, because we are not nurturing the potentials of our soul. We're just kind of producing like a little robot, right? Like a body without a soul, and that's not what we are, right? And because that doesn't bring happiness, maybe that's what we think. We are not getting it because we can't do it, and then we feel defeated. But it's because we are seeking or searching or going after something that is not something that is going to be important for us. So, like here, are we making ourselves totally deaf, right? Are we not listen to the choices and preferences of our own soul? So, as we also reflect, are we ready to take responsibility for our part on what did not go so well? But our part, because sometimes, yeah, it's our choice, but there are some, so the most of the responsibility for our actions is ours, but there are some additions, right, of other places too, of other influences from other people, from the environment, from the situation. There are other things. It's not black and white, right? So take responsibility. I'm not saying here feel guilty that it's not an active, right? Take responsibility means changing, right? Feeling guilty means staying stuck, right? Feeling frozen, and that doesn't help anything, and frozen and sick, and that's not helpful, right? But it's just taking responsibility of your part of what did not go so well, right? And I hope that when you see that, you can think of this part in the Bible where it says that when I'm weak, then I am strong, right? That failing also is part of the process, right? That we will do something wrong until we can do things correct. That is part of the learning process. So the message keeps saying to us that keeping this kind of behavior, blaming others for your feeling of inadequacy and conflicts, not accepting the fact that you submit to others people's will all the time, will make you always feel lonely, even in the middle of a crowd. So multiple ways you see here the Spirit of Med really inviting us to listen to God's voice inside yourself, right? And listen, right? Not just hear. We can hear everything, but listening attentively. After you hear everything, listen attentively to the voice inside, so that you do not feel lonely even in the middle of the crowd, right? So you don't feel lonely, and that sense of inadequacy that you had, it might happen at work or at school, or in any other place, right? So which voices are you listening about yourself, about your past, about your present, and about your future, right? So the past has passed, the present is here, and this will help us to build the future, right? So I hope when you think about that, you remember that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, right? So meaning that with the message of the Christ, with the help of the Christ, I can do all things, right? Because if we become a better person, right, we'll be a happier person and we'll be a stronger person. However, the message continues, from the moment you stop denying systematically that your actions are a product of the consensus you make from the many advices and opinions you receive, you are invited to take your real place at the table of the existence, right? So those opinions, sometimes good, sometimes bad, like we are the actions of this consensus, right? And if you stop denying that, but we start to actually evaluate, because they are part of this context that we inserted here to be a better person, right? We can't evolve in isolation, so we need these other opinions, but it doesn't mean that I just accept them at face value, that I just go, yes, whatever you're saying is true and I'll just follow you. No, we are, our actions are a product of all of those, but we need to be really evaluating, analyzing. Is that true? Is that not true? Does that feel right to me? Does not feel right? Because at the end, I'm the one who's going to respond for my own life, right? Can't respond for anybody else's. I'll respond for my own choices, right? So, who has been guiding you, right, in this process, in this reflection? So, I hope you remember this verse that says that his peace guards my heart and mind, right? So I hope that when we embark in that process, we really seek this peace of God that can guard our heart and our minds. So finally, you'll be able to see clearly who is guiding your decisions, right? Once we accept, we stop just denying that we are product of all these other messages that we hear every day, right? And that's what is probably guiding mostly of our decisions and our actions. So then when you see clearly who's guiding your decisions and the real share you have in your life options, right? Then we can take charge. I can say, I gave you too much power. No, that power, reclaim the power to make the decisions of your life, right? Don't give that, away so much. When my kids were growing, I kept telling them, I complain with you too much. I always correct you and everything, because I'm your mama. So I can do that. I'm not giving that authority to anybody. I will do it. Don't worry. We'll correct this. So then that is also become something that mostly I do. And the moment that I stop doing that, then more people will have to step in, because somebody else will see that there's something wrong, right? So I do this more so you can get it from me that love you, instead of somebody, if you're misbehaving at the grocery store or at work or at school or when you go visit a friend, don't worry. I take that responsibility. I can do that task, no problem, right? So in a sense, I think this message is really telling us to be ourselves, right? And in Psalms 139, the verse 14 says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So when you think about, I need to be myself, be you, do you think, yes, because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So taking that proverb, right, that whomever exalts himself will be debased, and the ones who humble themselves will be disbased. It's the part that comes in the beginning of this message. The Spirit Ahmed says it's worth to remember that it's not the instance of looking like humble, or to humiliate in an exaggerated and humiliating manner that leads you to develop total conscience of your place inside yourself, right? So it's not looking humble, it's really being humble, right? It's not to humiliate yourself in an exaggerated or humiliating manner, right? That will lead you to develop the total conscience of your real place inside yourself, right? If you tune into the real essence of humbleness, which is conceived as one should see as they really are, and realize that your existence is your own responsibility, then you'll be yourself, right? So then the invitation is be humble, right? So if we remember, right, in Matthew, Jesus says, I'm gentle and humble in heart and will find rest for your souls, right, in me. But also, we are new creations in Christ. So the humility will help us to keep working on this product that we are. And hopefully, we can be a new creation in Christ every day and become a better version of ourselves every day. So Ahmed continues explaining about the humility and saying being humble is listening to things from their real source, not with the eyes of illusion, but with the eyes of reality, getting rid of the fanciful imagination of distorted mental vision, inborn in people who think they always deserve the best in life, right? And that's the thing too. Sometimes we sit in these bigger places and we try to really pretend like we're better than others because we have this idea that we always deserve the best in life. But if I deserve the best in life, why not Publio deserves the best in life? So, and it's not a competition, right? It's not a pie that if somebody has one piece, then I don't have another piece. Remember the table, it's not like that crazy funny game of the chairs that every time there is one less chair, so somebody's gonna always be out. The table is for everybody. There are different seats there, but everybody has a place, so everybody deserves the good. But we have to match our actions. It requires work from our this better place at the table that Jesus is talking about. It's due to our moral development, and to develop morally we have to make hard choices. We have to watch all the time. We have to really do a lot of work every day, every minute, or every second, right, to really to get to that nobility at some point. So that at the point in the message, I was thinking about know the truth and the truth will set you free, right? That is in John 8:32. So we need to know the truth. So everything that we hear, we need to be reflecting, is that the truth? Is that person's truth? Is that the truth? Is this my truth only? But at the end, the more that we seek this voice inside, then we'll have those insights, we'll have those inspirations. And the more that we observe, we can have this inspiration that is going to let us know if we're going in the right way or not, right? But we need to observe, and we need to silence the noisy materialistic messages and really seek God's voice inside ourselves. So it's worth remembering that as we do not watch ourselves constantly, we almost always see reality in a limited way, and we take the rest on account of our own desires, thus creating illusions and tiresome expectations that drive us away from our goals. So I want to be a better person, but then I just, hear people doing this way and I just get tempted, and I'm not really, because it seems like there's less resistance to be bad. Like if you take the whole resistance, like if you just go free, then you're probably gonna make bad choices. But to really make good choices, it really needs to be intentional, right? It needs to be this constantly watching ourselves until we really evolve and become a person that, it doesn't matter, that will not be tempted, anymore. But so that is the thing, but that will drive us away from our goals. So if our goals is to be a better person, we need to watch ourselves, we need to watch our environment, and then keep, like, with the GPS, if we stray a little bit, then we need to keep analyzing ourselves and reposition ourselves towards our goal. So it's okay, sometimes we might be pulled one way, then okay, we keep watching, and then we keep going until we reach our goals. So that is the thing. We have all of these informations. We're immersed in we're not in isolation, we're immersed in other, and even with the influence of the spiritual world too. So I think it's respecting ourselves and respecting others, right? If we can start respecting, then we can end up loving. If we can start respecting, then we are end up forgiving, right? So I remember, I hope that you remember in Matthew when it says, I am the salt of the earth and the light of the world. That's what we are in essence. And if we're doing some things that don't match that, it is okay, as long as we reflect, redirect, move towards our goal, because that is the goal, is to be the salt of the earth and the salt of the earth and the light of the world, right? And I'm almost finishing here, but um, Ahmed says that people who know their place, they respect others because they recognize their own boundaries, and consequently, they don't cross other limits, putting the principle of love your neighbor into practice, right? That's why it's important to respect ourselves and to respect others. As we're thinking about this, I'm thinking, wow, that we need to be authentic, right? We need to be ourselves. We need to be authentic, means individuals. We are each one different from others. We are so diverse, but we all want good things. We all made for love, right? We are all salt of the earth, and the light of the world. Different types of lights, but it doesn't matter. It's still light, right? Different intensity of light, but it's still nevertheless light. So I hope, and the other this year, one of the things that I also heard is like somebody talking in this talk about how being authentic protects us even from suicide, because sometimes that's the thing with the young people, for example. We are always trying to fit in, right? There is this box or this idea from outside, pushed from outside to inside of to inside of us, that says you need to fit. You have to have this height, this weight, this income, this color of hair, this have to dress this way so we can fit. But then if we all fit in one box, then we're losing our authenticity, right? So I hope we remember that we are made in God's image, valuable and full of worth. Each and every one of us, we are made in His image, in God's image. We are valuable and full of worth. So be authentic. In order to find your place, you must have a lucid modesty, and get rid of your delusions will help you find authentic humbleness. So don't give up, right? That's the thing, because remember what he's saying. We get these illusions and we get distracted and we move away from our goals because we don't listen to this voice of God inside of ourselves, and because we are hearing too much for the external. And we have to watch ourselves because we have these messages all the time. So it's a constant watching, right? It's like watch and pray. Yes, so it's watch and pray and connect. So pray so you can listen, and watch so you can evaluate everything. But we can't give up, right? So remember that when I'm weak, then I'm strong. So do not give up your place to others. It is important that you see things as they really are and make use of good sense as reference for improvement and perception of truth as a whole. So remember, the answers to your questions are inside yourself. And remember, most of all, that nothing can separate us from the love of God. Nothing. So it doesn't matter where your place right really is at this table. You know, let's just keep working on it, and we'll move into another one. And even if we're sitting at the children's table at this fine, it's fine. Let's gonna be a good child at the table, behave ourselves. So maybe we'll be invited to the adults table, right? So you're placing life. Look for yourself inside yourself. Don't look for yourself outside. You know, we are not outside. So I need to look for myself here. That's where I am. This is the best way to find the place that belongs to you before eternal life, right? Inside ourselves. So let's try in the new year to really seek this truth, right? We are in this transition time. It seems like things are getting a little bit more complex. We still have big challenges. So it's really the time that we need, that there's no time to waste, right? We have all the time that we want. God is the honor, right? He holds the time. He's the Lord of time. But it's not because we have time that we're gonna waste it, because the more that we awake for those truths, that we really align ourselves with our goals, and these goals of the spiritual goals, then we're gonna evolve faster, right? Just because we have time, we should not just wait and not take advantage of that. If we are learning about those things now, if we're invited to these reflections right now, let's act on it, right? And that way, if we find the place that we belong before eternal life, whew, that's going to be much. I think maybe a lot of the work in this evolution is really finding our place where we belong. From there, it's going to be much easier, right? Maybe the biggest challenge is really finding our place. So I want to wish everybody a happy new year. May the new year be guided by all the Jesus messages, because the Jesus gospel message is really liberating. It's really radical, but just the people who get transformed, truly transformed by them, can really say, how powerful that is. So you have to try it to really feel it. It's hard for anybody. My experience cannot be yours. The experience of somebody else cannot be mine. So I just hope that in the new year, you listen more to yourself, to God's voice inside yourself, and that you listen to that voice, and you make your plans and you adjust your path accordingly, so that you can move towards your goals, not away from your goals. Thank you so much.
Hello, Anna. You know, these reflections make me think about a lot of things, and the first thing that came in my mind, we don't have much time, but the first thing that came in my mind is a quote from Chico Xavier. Then when he says that in reincarnation, there's no mistakes. Like, you are in the place that you must be, the necessary place to grow up, to redo your life. And along the year, I remember most of the time, a lot of times, the speakers was talking about you need to create a better versions of ourselves. So you mentioned all those things there. You also mentioned that my position in this world. So I know that I'm the right place. Good. And but you said the influence that we have here and there, especially nowadays with the internet, in the social media. So you listen what the people are liking or not, how many followers, blah 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 blah. But you mentioned something that is not religions. What you said is not about religion, is
Right.
about spirituality.
Right.
When you ask me to come down and listen the voice inside my soul, inside myself, and this is Jesus Christ's advices 2,000 years ago,
Mhm.
right? And
Yes.
in the sometimes because we are not in balance, that's the point.
Right.
We start listening much more outside opinions than the ones that is God inside ourselves. So
Right.
where to get the balance? I talk too much to ask this question. Where to get the balance?
Right. I think it's really we have to find time to listen, right? And to quiet. We can't be just going so it can be, however you quiet your mind, meditation, prayer, reading something that is going to inspire you, having like this time that we have every week for this 1 hour. Sorry, when I'm talking maybe more than an hour. Sorry, guys. So that we have here, and we are reflecting, we are donating this time to really not listen to the outside and do that. So it's like something that we can do every day. And it will all depend on where we are, right? So maybe we take 5 minutes every day and we think about, we reflect. Or when we need to make a decision, or when we need to make, like right now, if we're gonna make resolutions, for the new year, what is driving that? Is that something really mine, or is it because somebody else told me? And is that in line with the gospel, right, with the message of the Christ, that actually it's is really gonna, is that gonna really help me improve spiritually or not,
Uh, I'd like to say thank you. I'm gonna finalize my talking. That's not mine. With the quote from Jesus Christ. When I ask myself and ask you where is the balance, where to start, I just remember the quote from Jesus Christ. I am the way,
Hmm.
the truth, and life. So all those things that you talk, Jesus Christ brought to us 2,000 years ago, and we are still not giving the real attention on this to make ourselves a better person, to make good decisions. And again, nobody is in the wrong place. And in the place in the table, right? If I'm this place right now, and I can be in the next step, be in a better place, in a better position.
Right.
Remembering that reincarnation is a great opportunity that we have. And 2026 is right here in the corner, and I
Right.
can start making this better person, not tomorrow after midnight, but today, right now, starting.
Right.
Right?
The year will not be new if we're not a new person, right? If we're still the same person,
Exactly.
everything's gonna be exactly the same. So if we want change, we need to try to change ourselves, right? The way we think, the way we behave, and then we'll produce that change that we're looking for, right?
All right, all right. So I'd like to say thank you in name of the team, the name of the people that are listening. Thank you for all those reflections that I think that you said everything for myself, because I am gonna take a chance to use all those advices.
Thank
Thank
you
you
all.
very much, very much. And God continue blessing you in your reflections and sharing those things with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my
Happy
friend. Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye bye. So, my friends, we are now going to the second part, that is a spiritual care. Just remember, the spiritual care, we have the two steps. One is the passes. What is the pass? Pass is a transfusion of spiritual energy assisting our physical, emotional, and mental balance. The best benefit from the spiritual care, please follow the guided audio instruction or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. And remember, when I talk about the magnetized water, that is the time that, as you know, water receives the healing energy from our body and soul, with you in your family can be benefit from. So everybody can use the magnetized water. So we going to the spiritual care, and we're gonna do a prayer. And this prayer will be the final prayer too. So I'd like to invite you for one more moment for the prayer. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. In this moment, say, thank you, God, for the beautiful opportunity that we have, for those reflections for the new year that's coming. Help us, Father, to do a better decision for ourselves, helping each other, loving each other like we love ourselves. I'd like to say thank you for all the people, all the spirits that came to inspire our speaker tonight. Can be also with us in this moment of healing of magnetized water. So be with us today and forever. So be it.
Let's get ready for the pass and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position, which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capharnaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, His warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust Him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
Hello, friends. I'd like to say thank you, all of you, for being here with us. And remind you to follow us in the Facebook and YouTube, Spiritism Canada, and the Path of Light in Instagram too. I'd like to wish you a Happy New Year with all the consequences that we put on, with the love, the responsibility, and the happiness. So thank you. Thank you for all those days that we are together. And I hope I see you next week. Have a wonderful time. And again, Happy New Year. Thank you.
A world where we will be as free as any bird flying in the sky, where peace prevails. That's what I dream for you and me. Moved by the light of love, no longer dimmed by who we were. We'll rise into what we are meant to be, among flowers shining with the glow of supernovas. Tokens of that endless love God feels for us. That's what I dream. I dream a new day is going to dawn, the rising of a different world, where eyes who seek out chances to do good, a world of peace and brotherhood awaits the change that we can make. And changing our hearts is the first step we must take. A world where we will be as free as any bird flying in the sky, where peace prevails. That's what I dream for you and me. Moved by the light of love, no longer dimmed by who we were. We'll rise into what we are meant to be, among flowers shining with the glow of supernovas.
different world, where eyes will seek out chances to do good. A world of peace and brotherhood awaits the change that we can make.